Hi, so what are Python data types? In programming, the concept of data type is a very important one. Variables can store data of different types. Python has the following data types built in by default. So the first one we have is the text type, which is string, str. We also have numerical types, which are of three kinds: integers, float, and complex. We have sequence types, which are of three kinds. We have list, tuple, and range. We have mapping type, which is dictionaries, dict. We have set types, which is set and frozen set. We have boolean type, which is bool or boolean. And we have binary type, which is bytes, byte array, and memory view. So these are the common 7 data types that we have in Python. So you can get the data type of any object by using the type function. We had 7 as the value of x, and we needed to find the data type. So we use the type function. So we're back on the console and we can see that x is 7, and when we print out the type of x to find out the data type of x, what do we get? So let me run that. What do we get? We get class int, so telling us that 7 is an integer. So let's look at the first data type of Python. In Python, data type is set when you assign a value to a variable. So this is the way to set the string data type. We have an example here, hello world, and another way to set that is string hello world. And when you print the value of x, you would see that it will give you output the hello world, and also print type of x will give you the data type of x. So let's try that out. So here we can see that we have the value of x. So let's run this and see what it will give us. Over here we have hello world class of string, so it's outputting the value of x and telling us that it's a string. So we also have the int data type in Python, and an example here is x is given 20, a value of 20, and another way to express that is x int 20. So if you print that, it's also expected to give you the value of 20 and the type of x. Let's try it out. So we can see from this editor now that 20 has been given to x, and if you also set it this way, 20 would also be given to x as an integer. So if you print out the value, let's see what we get. So here it gives us the value of 20, and it tells us that it's an integer value. So the next data type is float. Float is specified this way. Unlike the integer, float has decimal points. So we have, in this example, 20.5 has been assigned to x, and you can also specify it this way and you print out the value. So let's try that out. So over here at the editor, we can see that we've set 20.5 to x, and you can also specify it this way, float 20.5, and assign it to x. So let's run it and see. So over here it tells us that the value has been outputted 20.5, and it defines it as a float value. So the next data type is a complex type, and it's a bit different because in this case you're using 2 different types of characters. So we have the 1, that's 1j, is assigned to x, and you can also set it this way, complex and 1j to x. So let's try that out. So we're back to the editor, and we can see that 1j has been assigned to x, and also it can be specified this way, complex 1j to x. So let's run it and see. So it gives us the value of 1j and also tells us that it's a complex data type. So the next type of data type we have in Python is the list data type. So we can see an example here. It uses square brackets and has values within the square brackets. It's assigned apple, banana, and cherry, and we can also express it this way. So let's try that out. So we're back to the editor and we can see that the list apple, banana, and cherry has been assigned to X, and also it can be presented this way and assigned to X. So let's run it and see the value. So this is what it's giving us. It's giving us a list of apple, banana, and cherry, and it tells us that this is a list data type. So we also have the tuple data type, and it's a bit different from list because it doesn't use square brackets, it uses the round normal brackets, and you can put in values within the brackets. And another way to express that is using the tuple function and putting the values in there to assign it to X. So let's run it and see. So we're back on the editor and we can see that the tuple apple, banana, cherry has been assigned to X and also can be expressed this way and assigned to X. Let's run it and see. So we've been able to output the value, and it says apple, banana, and cherry within the tuple, and it tells us that the data type is tuple. So we also have the range data type, and it's assigned by using the range function with the value imputed in it. And as you can see, we see that 6, the range of 6 has been assigned to X, and let's try that out. So we're back in the editor and we can see that the range of 6 has been assigned to X. So let's run that. So from our output we can see the range from 0 to 6 has been imputed, and we can also see that the data type is range. So we also have the dictionary data type, and to express that, use the curly brackets. So this is a key value pair within the dictionary. So we can also express it this way, as we see in the second line. Name John, age 36, with the dict function assigned to X. So let's try that out. So on the editor we can see that we have assigned the values, dictionary values, to X, and we have two key value pairs of name and age, and we can also express it this way using the dict function and assigned to X. So let's run that. So from our output we can see that the value of John, that's for the name, and 36 for the age, has been imputed as values of X. It's also defined X as a dictionary value. So we have sets data types. They also use curly brackets, don't have the key value pairs in them, just have the values separated by the commas, and we can also express it this way using the set function and putting the value within the function to assign to X. So let's try it out. We can see that the values has been assigned to X as a set, and also as we can see from the second line that set function has set the values to X. So let's try running it, and we can see that it outputted the values as a set of X, and also it defined X as a data type of set. So next we have the frozen set data type, and it's similar to the set, only that you use the frozen set function to define the set of values for X. So this is the way to express it. So let's see that on the editor. So from the editor here we can see we've assigned the frozen set to X. So we can use either of these values of X, and so let's just run it. So here we can see that the frozen set has been defined for X, and you can see the data type defined as frozen set. Next we have the Boolean data type. So the Boolean data type uses the value true or false. As we can see in this example, true has been assigned to X, and it can also be expressed with the bool function on a value to specify whether a value has been given. So if a value is given, to give the value of true. If it's not given, it's to give the value of false. So let's try that on the editor. So over here we can see we've assigned the value of true to x, and we also have bool of 5 assigned to x. So let's run that, and we can see that it expresses x as true, and it also states that x data type is a boolean. So next we have the bytes data type, and the bytes data type is simply set by putting the values within the byte function to specify the variable. So we're going to try that out. So over here we can see that we've put the value of 5 into the byte function and specified it, assigned it to x. So let's run it and see. So we can see here that it has outputted the value as a byte format, and it has also defined the value as having a byte data type. So next we have the byte array, which is similar to the bytes data type. And the same way to express it is using the byte array as a function for the value. So here we can see we've assigned the value to the byte array and we have assigned it to x. Let's try that out. So we can see that it has expressed it as a byte array, and also it defines the value data type as byte array. So finally we have the memory view data type, and it's expressed similar to the byte array data type and the bytes data type. So you have the value given into the bytes function, and that's also given into the memory view function. So let's see how this is run. So we're back on the editor, and we can see that we've assigned 5 to bytes function, and bytes also function has been assigned to the memory view function. So let's run this and see. So we can see at the output that it's giving us in the memory format the value that has been outputted, and it also specifies that this value is in a memory view data type.